What's up, YouTube? I'm changing the transmission mount on a Ford Escape, and this is it right here. You can see I've already sprayed it down with some rust penetrant, but this particular mount sits directly under the airbox, and you just got to take off the airbox, which is pretty simple to do. It's just to undo the clamps that holds the airbox and the bolts that attaches it to the body of the vehicle. And there's a bolt right here. That's the only one that may be a little tricky. You may be wondering why the last section of the box is not coming off. There's a bolt in the back. You just gotta get to it from the top, take that out, and after that, the bottom of the box, it has like two tabs that sit in these rubber grommets right here, and once you pull up and twist it out, it comes right out. And all you really need for this job, besides a screwdriver, is just a you need a flathead screwdriver, of course, a 13 millimeter, 15. These bolts right here, it's 4 of them, 1, 2 on top, and then 2 on the sides. Those 4 bolts are 13 mil. And then this bolt that goes through the mount is 15 millimeter. I'm just gonna loosen up the bolts, and I gotta get a jack to put under the car. I didn't do that yet, but I just want to loosen up the bolts just to kind of see where everything is gonna go. Okay, those are loose. 15 mil. My other 13. I'm going to use this on a gun, impact gun. Okay, so by me loosening it up a little bit, the engine went downwards. So now I get my jack and I place my jack under it to raise it to see exactly what point I need to put the jack. You don't want to put the jack in the area where it's going to break it. So now that I have all the bolts loose, I'm not taking them out yet, just have all of them loose. Then I'll go place my jack under the transmission and with a block of wood, so I could support the transmission in order to take the mount out. And this is where I place my jack. You could see I left the splash shield on, and I just placed it directly behind it and next to the control arm, the lower control arm. And I just put it there, jacked it up a little bit just to raise the transmission up just a little, and leave it just like that. Now I could go ahead and remove the bolts. So I'll back this one out all the way. And you may have to play around with the jack a little bit, like a little bit higher, lower, just to get it in the right spot. This came out pretty easy, so that means I got it right. And just like that, the mount is out. Now I just gotta match it up with a new one. Make sure everything lines up exactly. Which it does. Lines up perfectly. And I'll just install this one. It's probably just a little bit wide. So the new mount is just, this is the old one, and the thickness of it is the same thickness, but this collar, this metal collar, is just a little bit shorter than the new one. So I'm just gonna have to somehow open up the bracket just a little bit, not much. It looks like it might just be maybe a millimeter, maybe, if that much, less than that actually. So I just gotta open it just a little bit. And to open it, I just use the hammer and just give it a few quick taps. It doesn't have to move much. It just has to be opened up just a little bit. And there we go. Sits right in. The bolt holes line up. Everything lines up. Now it's just to put the bolts back in, tighten everything back down. This one right next to the battery is kind of tricky. And if you have any issues getting some of the bolts in, just try to hand thread them in, maybe 3-4 turns. And you may have to like grab on the mount and kind of move it a little bit. Jack the car up a little bit more or lower the jack just to get it in the right position. I was lucky, I kind of got it on the first try. So I'm just gonna snug these up. Now once I snug the side ones and this bolt that goes straight through, then I'll tighten down on these. And you could always find the torque specs and torque it to spec. Now I could get this last one. And that's it for the mount. Now I could lower the jack. Here we go. I just gotta take the rubber grommets off the old mount. Just snap these in. The airbox, these two little tabs sit in those two little holes where the rubber ground is. Gotta push it in. Got this bolt right here. Air filter. One line connects right here. This other line, quick connect, goes right here, snaps right in. Double check all my connections. Everything seems fine. That's it for the transmission mount.